was kind of brutal.
Lights up, we taking it high, can't relax. Voices of the culture, welcome NBA Max. Truth in the numbers, fire in the stats. If you love this game, then you know we run it back. Sorry from hoops, social building roots where I stand. Home with legends, reminisce, shaping who I am. Culture in the moment, every voice gets a seat. We rise together strong, community complete. Fluent from sports, fluent, making knowledge appear. Turn the jargon to a language every fan can hear. Break it down simple, then I lace it with finesse. Wisdom flowing smooth, that's the art of success. Chris from All-American Hooper, I give it 100, no doubt. Teacher on the grind, showing what it's all about. From the classroom lessons to the sweat that I show. Built for the hustle, that's the only way I go. It's Jalen Carter on the beat. Every bar's in tune, turn arenas to a stage. Make the culture boom, notes hit like buckets. Rhythm sharp as an axe, soundtrack of the moment. This is NBA, man! Lights up, we taking it higher.
Yo, thanks, Spudster. We are live on Sports Fluent YouTube. We are live on Sports Fluent Twitter. I'm not calling it X ever. X. We are live on Sports Fluent Facebook. Do people still go on Facebook? Or is that just like an old man thing?
Old people.
That's definitely an old man thing. Yeah. Every once in a while, we still have a group chat from like high school there. For some reason,
yeah, that's
it's always fun to see. And
So
yeah,
your college buddies.
I do it because it links to the IG account.
Okay, it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah,
And so things go back and forth from IG to from IG.
It's funny. The only people that are still post on Facebook that I follow are like my high school teachers that I end up following. You know, so they gotta be really kind of up there.
Hey, listen, if y'all want to see, if you're on TikTok, by the way, and you want to see what's going on in the chat and the graphics, because there's some cool graphics, go to Sports Fluent YouTube, subscribe, come on, or stay here on TikTok, either one, hit the like button. Woodage says Sports Fluent MySpace. I hear MySpace is a thing again.
I've heard that same rumbling that they're trying to make it a thing. Yeah.
It's just like a nostalgia thing if you want to kind of
go
back and, you know, just live out your childhood for whatever.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, I thought like it was making a comeback. People in TikTok, a thumbs up and let me know that you can hear, because I'm kind of, as you can see, we're doing a little dual action attempting. I always try to, try to do new stuff. I always want to do new stuff. That's my goal, is to do new stuff. So speaking of new stuff, first let's start with the sad news. Okay, Ori, this doesn't necessarily affect you. Ori Hoop Social, follow him here on TikTok. But for Jalen and I'm actually even a little bit different than Jalen. So let me tell you my story quickly. I'm a Dodgers fan. Have been since 1980. When I picked up as a Laker fan, 79-80, that's when I became a Dodger fan. But my hometown is Toronto. I'm now back living in Toronto. And so I was rooting for my home team. Like, it was like the David versus Goliath thing. So I was like, hey, I win either way. But man, game 7, bottom of the 11th, it was heartbreaking.
Bro,
it was even half the half side that was happy, the other side was like, ooh.
Yeah, that game, like if
Junior cried for an hour.
I think half the team probably did. You play that game 10 times, the Jays win. Like the Jays outplayed the Dodgers. If you look at the series throughout every match, they out hit the Dodgers. Yeah, throughout the series they hit it. It's so many these weird breaks just went the Dodgers' way. Like the ball getting stuck, under the wall.
Stop there for a second.
Yeah,
the ball getting stuck. For those that were like, it's a rule, the lodged ball. Go look. Search up Cecil Fielder lodged ball. Now, do you guys know who Cecil Fielder is? He was a very large
Prince Fielder's dad.
Yeah, he's Prince Fielder's dad, right?
Correct.
Big home run guy too.
So Cecil Fielder hits one, and it gets lodged in the wall in right field. And Cecil's a big dude, and he, to his credit, chugs all the way around in the park home run. And the outfielder, the right fielder, runs to the ball, points at it, and says, "It's lodged." And the umpire goes, "So go get it." And he immediately grabs it, and it's not lodged to where he can't get it. He literally pulls it right out and throws it, and he goes safe at home. It's an infield home run. Because the rule is, and I don't care, again, I'm happy either team wins, so I'm okay. But the rule is it has to be lodged in, and you have to make an attempt to get it. And if you can't physically pull it out and it impedes you getting the ball, then you can have that conversation. What the Dodgers did when they just pointed at it and said it's out, they were supposed to say, so you made no attempt. Those 2 runs score, completely different game. So, anyways, and that was game 6, I believe, is when that happened.
That was game 6. Another game that
we will get to basketball. This is a basketball show, but I'll give Jalen a little.
I mean, look, I mean, it's again, Jays played their hearts out. 9th inning, 3 outs. We have a great closer. I know people want to blame it on him. He left the slider hanging. Every pitcher does that. Like, you watch baseball, every pitcher leaves sliders hanging. It happens.
Yeah, that was
I mean, to have Miguel Rojas, who's again
Rojas,
Rojas, who's like a singles guy, a vet, not a power guy at all, to get that home run, it's just absurd. Like that's like the equivalent to I don't know, like the 12th guy on the NBA bench giving you 30 points, in a game 6.
In game 7.
Imagine Bronny James giving you 30 points in a game 7. Respect to Bronny James, but he's not giving you 30 points.
We'll talk about Bronny James in a minute, but first, we have a question. OG Juice is plus minus overrated.
Ooh,
interesting. I 1000% believe, even though you can only be 100, that plus minus is absolutely overrated if you're using it. I guess it depends what you're using it for. If you're trying to say, oh, my plus minus is better than yours, so I'm a better player or a better defender, well, there's way too many situations where, I come in off the bench and I'm playing against starters, or it's a blowout, we're up 40 and I'm in those last garbage minutes where we're not even really trying to score, and the other team just, like, there's so many variables. Like, I can sit there and do nothing defensively and be a plus 23. I can do nothing offensively and be a plus, or I could go out and drop 40, but my teammates stink defensively, and now I'm a minus 10, and I'm like, oh, because it's not an individual, it's a team thing. So if you're using it as an individual thing, I think it's overrated. But like, listen, everything helps, every stat helps, as long as you understand you can't use one. What do you guys think?
That's I behind that. I think, just like every stat, context is the most important thing when it really boils down to it. Because as long as you're not cherry picking to try to create a narrative, and you're just including all the stats that exist to try to create your narrative, I think that, plus minus has a place. But when it comes to being something that's overrated, I think it depends on if you're using, pure plus minus versus box plus minus. If we're being 100% honest, let's see, that's where I differ. I don't mind box plus minus as much as the strict plus minus, because I think there is that extra level of
stats that other people got.
Yeah, of more stats, I guess.
More stats that someone else got.
Yeah, but it's
play with Dennis Rodman.
It's like what's that new stat they're trying to come up with?
Rebounds. Hold on, I play with
Wowie.
I play with Dennis Rodman, who gets 20 rebounds. I have a huge plus now because I got 0 rebounds, 0 points, 0 assists.
Well, have you seen Wowie? The with or without stats. They're kind of like they're proprietary stats, but
yeah, okay. I like
those. They're comparable, but a little more in depth. I think something like that maybe holds better weight than just pure plus minus, because it is kind of going to a little bit more intricate. And I think the more that AI develops, we're going to probably have a better stat anyway. I know that new stats are on the way, though.
The stats are getting better, I'll agree, or more. But the thing is, everything has a fault, which is my problem, because they try to use one stat as the be all and end all, and you can't. That's always been my fight. Because even with the Wowie, right? With or without, okay, but who was I on the court with? Mm-hmm. When I wasn't on the court, who were they playing? Like, when I came off the court, right, it was my 5 bench guys or 1 starter, and they had their starter, all 5 starters on against one of my starters. Let's use your team, the Celtics, okay? When healthy, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, right? So they take off one of them. So now Jaylen Brown's on there with Pritchard, and I'm trying to think of who the bench is when healthy.
Hauser,
not this year's team, yeah, Hauser, whatever. And they're going against the starting 5 of the Cavs. well, is that really Jaylen Brown not doing a good job?
No, you're just going against starters with,
or is he just going against starters with some bench guys, and vice versa,
Right,
Like, I have my 5 starters on. I'm going against their 5. Like the Raptors won a game a couple days ago where the Cavs had 1 starter, the other 4 were out of the lineup. Wow, their plus minus looked great. They actually almost lost that game, mind you, but they won that game. It started off there, so that's all I'm saying. All right, for those on TikTok, you're gonna miss this, and it's too bad, Sports Fluent YouTube, because we're going to do our first segment. We got 2 of these today, so it's a double feature. Normally, there'll only be 1. You guys haven't seen this yet.
It's time for our Cluckworthy Countdown. This is Chicken of the Week, highlighting the people too scared to step up and debate.
We don't want the smoke.
Chicken of the Week. Our first one is Ramunche de Jesus. You can go follow him and make fun of him on Hey Jake, you go follow him on X and make fun of him. He believes that he knows more basketball than Sports Fluent himself. That'd be me. And I said, great. There's a back and forth here, but eventually it says Tuesday 9:30. As you know, Fluent and Chill, we do a debate portion where we invite people up. Guess who didn't show?
Everybody loud on Twitter.
Yeah,
the cameras got to turn it on.
Yeah, the keyboard warriors, huh?
Who's he talking about though with MC?
What's that?
Who's he talking about with MC? He's not a legit Hall of Famer.
Tracy McGrady.
Oh, McGrady. Okay. I mean, we've had that debate before. It comes to the, the Basketball Hall of Fame allowing a lot of people in.
He listen, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. I posted the thing where I said I don't believe, and I said based on this criteria, and I lay it all out, that Tracy McGrady should be in the Basketball Hall of Fame. I'll give you the high level. And he says, and we go back and forth about him saying there's no way that you can know you know nothing about basketball if you think that. And I said, great, then come and debate it. I'll show you, I'll cook you, fool, I'll kick your ass. Cool.
Yeah.
Tuesday 9:30. Where's he at? Didn't show up. Not 1 second didn't show up. And the thing is, if you'll indulge me for a second, the reason I don't think he should be in the Basketball Hall of Fame, and people should understand, I have a very strict criteria. And I think a lot of people that are in the Hall shouldn't be in the Hall.
That's what you have to highlight. This is your criteria.
This is my criteria, yeah. And I say, because people hold and say, well, Bill Bradley's in the Hall of Fame. So then all these other people, you're right. Bill Bradley's in the Hall of Fame. Everybody should be in the Hall of Fame. But from a Basketball Hall of Fame situation, they look at university. Tracy McGrady has none. They look at international play. Tracy McGrady went for 12-2 one time in the FIBA of Americas. That's it. He played 1 international.
Weird how he never made an Olympic team.
He did. No, he made it. He made Team USA and said, no, I want to focus on the Houston Rockets, and he didn't go. So he played in a tournament. He averaged 12 points and two assists. So he didn't really do anything. So he has no international play. He has no university to help him. So all he has is his NBA career. And the way I listen, and this is just not on purpose, this is strictly coincidence. I say you have to be a superstar elite player for 8 to 10 years before I can consider you for the Hall of Fame. Because anyone can have, I don't think Bill Walton, as great as he was for that minute, he didn't do it enough. Right. And people are like, well, he was an MVP and a finals MVP in the same year. No one who's done that has ever. Yeah, but no one who's done that only did it for 2 years. Anybody else who's been a finals MVP and a league MVP didn't have 2 good seasons, then came off the bench for the other 8. And I get injuries, all those other things. Don't care. Too bad. I'm sorry. It's the Hall of Fame. And so the way I look at it is you have to be first an all-star, then you become a star, then a superstar, sustained superstardom, individual and some team success, because obviously that's team dependent, but some, like, you have to lead your team, you're right, and in the playoffs when it matters, and then you can be a Hall of Famer. Like, if you're not a sustained superstar, how can you be a Hall of Famer, which is, I believe, the next step up, right? So all NBA
argument, you just say his peak was pretty high.
So his
peak was really high.
Great. Here's the thing: in 16 years, he was All NBA 7 times. So less than half of his career. And I don't care about All-Star. Just so you know, All-Star doesn't even count because an all-stars voted. So he was only a seven-time.
That's a good amount, though. A lot of players don't have 7. 7 All NBAs.
I get it, but hold on. So 7 years All NBA. That's 2 firsts, 3 seconds, and 2 thirds. Okay, and 7 All NBA is great. Is great if there was anything outside of that. But for 9 years, he was nothing. And I get that it was injuries. I get it. So for me, just based on that alone, I'm already saying, well, I want 8 to 10 years. So he's close at 7. Okay, so did he have playoff success then that'll put him over the top? No. You know what was? You know how many the most playoff games he ever played in one playoff stretch?
7.
Was 6? Was it against the Pistons that first round series?
7 was the most.
7, okay.
Was the most games he ever played in a playoff run. In fact, I believe he was. I need to look this up, but I think he came off the bench almost as much as he played as a starter.
But he's also one of those players where like all the accolades, even stats at his peak doesn't paint the whole picture. Like when you saw him play,
100%.
Like that eye test, yeah, he was a Hall of Fame caliber player.
I mean, the eye test.
I'm not
you gotta
saying
be careful.
I'm not saying he's not great. I think he's a great player. I think he had superstar potential. I think if he stayed in Toronto with Vince Carter, that team goes to the NBA Finals, and we're having a different conversation. However,
I think he's way better than Paul Pierce. And Paul Pierce,
whoa!
I think when those two were playing together, no person ever said Paul Pierce was better than Tracy McGrady. There's no.
Yeah, I did.
You're nuts. You're absolutely nuts. Paul Pierce was not better than McGrady, not better than Carter, not better than He
oh my god, not better than Vince Carter.
Vince Carter was cooking Paul Pierce, cooking Paul Pierce.
Tracy McGrady, yeah. All right. So my point is that I'm not like people immediately think that it means I think he's a garbage player, and that's the whole part that I struggle with. Like people, it's like black and white, and I'm like, no, I think he's a great player. I think he's an All NBA caliber player. I think he had superstar caliber years in there. But if you can't lead your team out of the first round, if you can't sustain that excellence, and again, he's on the cusp, so he just misses the mark for me because he didn't do it long enough, again, based on my standards, and he didn't have anything else pulling from university or international play. And then when he did make, the NBA Finals, or sorry, not the NBA Finals, when he did make the playoffs, he wasn't able to not even one time, right, carry his team out of the first round. And I get it. Oh, his teams were garbage. You couldn't get out of the first round once in 7 tries? Not once?
That's it's so
you
interesting.
LaMarcus,
I just.
But again, that doesn't mean he's not an exceptional talent. That doesn't mean there isn't reasons, right? Because everyone will say, well, yeah, he got hurt. Yeah, you're right. So if I'm a phenomenal talent, a phenomenal skilled player, and I get hurt after my 3rd year, like Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is a goddamn MVP. He shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
That would be an interesting one.
That's close. I mean, you figure technically. I mean, based on that standard, you could say that Rose peaked higher than McGrady because he got that MVP.
He definitely hold on timeout. See, this is what I'm saying. The MVP is there, but in no universe was Rose at his best better than McGrady at his best. In no universe, MVP is cute, but let's be real. Tracy McGrady at his best is not.
Derrick Rose made it further. Derrick Rose could make it further in the playoffs.
That's great. 100% that's good. But Tracy McGrady never had a team like that.
Honestly, if it wasn't for LeBron James, Derrick Rose probably going to the NBA Final.
Right.
This is true. But Tracy never had it. Like that Orlando team, you put Derrick Rose on our Orlando team, they're not making the playoffs.
Okay, now I pause real quick. I got to rewind for like a half step. The Bill Walton thing you mentioned earlier. Now, because he does have the college and he does have the Finals MVP, based on your parameter, would he rank higher than McGrady?
Yes, because he had. I meant if you were just looking at his NBA career.
Sure, yeah.
But because he has the college, yes, he absolutely one of the greatest college basketball players of all time. He makes it into the Hall of Fame, not based on his NBA career though.
Sure, yeah, okay.
Based on his collective. Yeah, I was comparing if he only played in the NBA like McGrady. I wouldn't. He didn't do it.
And Holt, I mean, McGrady, I feel like is the ultimate definition of the guy that passes the eye test with flying colors, but there's a certain level of consistent production that just maybe isn't quite. Yeah, like you said. I mean, you expect 8 to 10 years of
He had a degenerative
superstardom.
back. Like he literally had a degenerative back. Like the doctor literally said,
Sure,
you have.
and but I mean, that's also tough. It's then because then all we have is his peak,
His peak was
and what
so
do we do
late.
with that? What
His
do we
peak
do
was
with
so
that?
to me. His peak, like he's better than SGA. He's better at basketball than SGA. But people have SGA over him all the time because he won a championship, MVP. But there's no way that
Okay,
I've seen
okay,
SGA play a
but
T-back
what
and think SGA is
by
better at
what
basketball.
parameter? By what parameter other than the eye test is he better than SGA?
Yeah, he's more impactful to his team. Even in winning, I think he does more for his team than SGA. I think he's more explosive at the rim. I mean, if you do the whole skill set thing, that's nothing. There's guys who can be more skilled but not as good as a player. You know, that's a different debate. But Tracy McGrady on the basketball court to me could do more and was more impactful than SGA.
But how can you be more impactful if you're not winning?
But you look at the context of his team; those Orlando teams were bad. I mean, they just weren't good at all.
They weren't trying. They weren't trying to be bad. I mean, he was supposed to have Grant Hill. He was supposed to have Tim
Houston
Duncan.
team. That Houston was a shot, but Yao Ming got hurt. He was hurt. It just all these things like that's what people don't realize to have such a long career. So many things have to go right. He's one of the unluckiest superstars.
But you're talking about his skill level, his talent, and those things don't get you into the Hall of Fame.
Even encore production, though, like he still had 36 and 6. Like he was still producing on the court.
That was once.
That was once. Even the other season, he was still 26, 6 and 6. Like he was still giving you 25 plus for what 5, 6, 7 years.
Right. For 5, 6, 7 years. That's not enough.
Okay. Move along
that era too. In that era,
hold on. To be the top 1% in the history of the NBA, 5 to 7 years isn't enough.
Man, when you peak,
who deserves it more based on your parameter? DeMar DeRozan or Tracy McGrady?
Based on my prior, I think Tracy McGrady is
based on fluence parameter of the longevity and consistency. You know, I was just thinking DeRozan or McGrady. Who has the better argument?
I think McGrady has the better argument because even though he did it for less, his peak is higher than DeRozan's.
Okay. No, fair enough. I just wanted to see how things are weighted, I suppose.
To be clear, I don't think, and this is known again, I'm not saying they're bad players. I don't think DeRozan. I don't think Vince Carter. I don't think. Now, if you want to say Hall of Famous, right? Different conversation. I'm taking the Hall of Fame as, like I said, for me, you become a star player, a all NBA player, like an all NBA player, a star player, a superstar player, and then if you are consistently a superstar, which I only believe in most years, this exception, there's like 3 to 5 superstars, like a player that can carry a team deep into the playoffs. Then if you can do that for 8 to 10 plus years, then you become a Hall of Famer.
You know what's crazy with DeRozan? Now.
And let me understand. And let me say, I have 2 conversations about that because when I talk about, I wish there was a professional Hall of Fame, I can separate that from, I understand like a Carmelo Anthony, for example, isn't in the Hall of Fame based on his NBA. But when you add in Syracuse, when you add in the Olympics, Hall of Famer. Tony Kukoc, not a Hall of Famer based on his NBA career. Back-to-back MVPs in Europe, et cetera, what he did in the Olympics, Hall of Famer. So you got to be able to distinguish those things, because sometimes I say if it was just NBA, there's a lot of players that I don't think make it.
DeMar DeRozan might be the most underappreciated producer of all time, though. Like he has 25,000, like 400 points. He might end up with 30,000 points. DeMar DeRozan might end up with 30,000 career points in the NBA. You know how insane that is? The benchmark used to be 20,000 points. You're in the Hall of Fame. That was the benchmark.
And he's been farther in the playoffs than McGrady.
He might get 30,000. He really might end up top 10 all time in scoring. He is 25th right now with 25,000. Steph's still ahead of him. You have Westbrook ahead of him. DeMar doesn't look like he's really so. He might get to 30,000. Can you imagine, Fluid? 10 years, I told you someone gets 30,000 points, not a Hall of Famer. Like that's wild. 25,000 points too. At some point,
he's remarkably consistent.
Yeah, I get it. I get it too. The peak wasn't quite there.
It's not the Hall of Consistency either.
No, that's true.
But benchmarks matter. Benchmarks.
Do you think
in baseball, 500 home runs is still like that's a mark?
It's like an automatic bid, right?
Yeah.
In basketball, do benchmarks matter when, like, they matter to a certain extent? But when you add in the 3-point line, when you change the rules to make it more offensive, when you there's so many factors that go into it. So playing a long time, right? Playing a long time, I've always said this, doesn't make you better.
I hear you. It doesn't. But being
Robert Parrish, Larry Bird thing all the time.
in the history of the NBA, if you're top 20 in scoring, like there's no way you can't put him in the Hall of Fame. If you finish top 20, top 15.
But that's my point. Is that precedent is wrong.
Okay. Hey,
because when you say there's no one, like someone said to me when I said Tracy McGrady, well, there isn't a 7-time All-NBA player that isn't in there. Well, maybe there should be. Right? Bill Walton, again, if there was no university, well, there's no MVP and Finals MVP who's not in the Hall of Fame. Okay. Well, there's no Finals MVP who doesn't have their number retired.
I guess
except for like Iggy. Like just because there's that precedent,
it could
the
change.
precedent might be wrong. Not putting that person in, because then you, like I said, then you dilute it and you make it too easy. Like I said, if we hold the standard as the worst person in the Hall of Fame, Bill Bradley, then everybody in the NBA today should be in the Hall of Fame because they're all better than Bill Bradley.
So do you think that in our lifetimes we're going to see some sort of like NBA?
He should be in.
Do you think in our lifetimes we'll see some sort of like NBA Hall of Fame or professional Hall of Fame if they'll ever lean into that potentially?
I've been making a push. Me and Chill, we're like, we will be on the board. We will get this happen. We will make this happen because every other sport has a professional baseball, professional football. They all have a professional version of the Hall of Fame. 100%.
You need a commissioner who really wants it. You just need one commissioner who really wants it.
Well, that's it. Because I feel like it would benefit the NBA as well as kind of a promo thing too.
I don't know if Bill Bradley's the worst. Bill Bradley might be the worst player in the Hall of Fame. He might be.
Jeez, that one's tough.
We should have one day our top 10 worst Hall of Famers.
You know what? Next week, that's what we're gonna do. Let me write it down.
Do it.
Top 10 worst Hall of
Famers. I mean, what about Calvin Murphy? Calvin Murphy was kind of
top 10. Sorry, top 10 worst Hall of Famers. All right, there you go. And the thing is, but you got to consider, right? It's Basketball Hall of Fame. All right. So we got one more. Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. We have one more.
It's time for our Cluckworthy Countdown. This is Chicken of the Week, highlighting the people too scared to step up and debate.
We have one more. This one was my favorite because I'll give you the background of the conversation too. So one of your boys, Jalen, one of the LeBronaholics, posted a 10-second clip of a game between the Bulls and the Cavs, and it showed the Bulls all around the 3-point line, the Cavs playing kind of packed in defense, and they were just passing it around, and they were leaving them open to shoot the three. Like they were giving them a step, not like drop coverage. They were giving them a step. None of them were shooting the three, but because it was so packed in, none of them were driving. And the Shane, I think his name is, says, "Oh, look at this tough 90s defense." And so first I corrected him and say, I don't know that you can call the Cavs at worst case scenario, it was the 89-90 season. I believe it was actually the 87-88 season. And the reason I know it was the oldest it could have been was 89-90 was because there's a player, something Charles, number 22 on the Bulls, who was his last season with the Bulls was 89-90. So I said, I doubt that you can call this the tough 90s defense that people always talk about, because this wasn't even technically in the 90s. And it was the Cavs. And I said, first of all, I don't agree with the narrative that the 90s defense was so rough and tumble and every team, played, was giving you a clothesline. That's just untrue. So I don't adhere to that narrative anyway. I don't even think the 90s was that great of a basketball in terms of gameplay. It wasn't that great anyways. That being said, so that's how I feel. I feel today's game is better. Just put it out there. However, I said, if you're going to use a 10-second clip, I can go find a clip from any year and show you that, that's the worst era of basketball. I always go back to the Raptors last year. I think it was a game against the Wizards where they went the first 3 minutes, shot 10 threes each, and neither team made one. I can show that and be like, here's 3 minutes of basketball. Look at this. This is horrible. They went back and forth. Missed three. It was Gabricio garbage. And so I said, you can't do that. I go, if you want one of those old head dudes, one of the guys my age will say, yeah, look how tough that defense is. The Bulls are scared to drive. They're so scared of getting clothesline. They're even scared to drive, right? And he says, well, the retort will be, why didn't they just shoot the three? And I said, well, because if like literally basketball 101 from the 80s was that you don't shoot the three because the coach will bench you because it was thought to be a really inefficient shot. Teams, not players. Teams were shooting 5 to 7 per game at about 30%. They didn't have advanced stats and efficiency ratings and They thought 30%. No, you get it inside and you make that, 50, 60, 70% layup, dunk, interior shot, put the pressure on the defense, get fouled, play inside out. I said, and if you did anything else, like you'd get thing. What do you mean? That's not basketball 101. If you're open, shoot it. That's basketball. And I'm like, you can't use today's standards 40 plus years ago. It just doesn't work. Oh, I'll cook you. I'll debate you anytime. I said, great. I'll see you 9:30 Eastern tomorrow on Chilltown Hoops YouTube. Because I asked him whenever he wants to, and he said, buddy, I started this debate. What did he say? Oh, I'll humiliate you on your platform. Cool. Did he come? Nope.
Twitter's just not a real place.
Another no-show.
Nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere to be seen. And those are our...
It's time for our Cluckworthy Countdown. This is Chicken of the Week.
And those were our... Normally we'll only have one Chicken of the Week. May I also show you this again quickly? Just notice the...
It's time for our Cluckworthy...
Created by Sora. I love Sora too. It's my favorite thing. I get paid nothing to tell you, but damn, I love that. I love that app. All right, let's start. What we're actually here to talk about is pretenders and contenders. So does anyone happen to have the NBA standings available?
Yeah, I'll pull it up right now. Got it. We got the standings up. Do you want the Eastern Conference or West first?
Oh, hello. Haven't seen you in a while.
East or West?
Let's start in the East. So what we want to do is take a look at the top 3 teams and the bottom 3 teams and see, or maybe the playoff teams. We can just run through them quick. The top 6 maybe. And we'll see, are they contenders or pretenders?
So the Bulls, first place. I think that's easy pretender for me. I think Vucevic is playing out of his mind a little bit. Giddey having a little up and down.
Doubles for Giddey.
Yeah, I know.
Josh Giddey.
There's no way this is sustainable. I just not. Vucevic can't sustain this level of play. I don't think Giddey can sustain this level of play. Their defense is going to do for incredible regression. I think they're pretenders.
I'm all about Chicago Bulls right now, man. Josh Giddey is looking like a deal and a half after signing that new contract. He's looking like his ceiling might be way higher than people thought. Even the Bulls might have thought. And to be frank, they're playing loose. They're playing fun. They're playing a good pace. Like they playing with nothing to lose because no one expected them to be good or even playoff contention. I'm thoroughly impressed with them. I think that they're obviously not going to keep up this tempo. I think that they're more likely to be a 6 seed than a 1 seed. But I don't think that they are pretenders. Something about this Bull squad, I think that they could win, 48 to 50 games.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of games.
Hey, Angie Carr, how are you? Well, when I think of contender, I'm thinking a top 4 seed that will have at least one round of home court advantage. Because honestly, how many 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seeds make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, the NBA Finals? And so that's a contender. So do I think the Bulls will remain a top 4 seed? No.
That's fair by that standard.
So are they better than I think everyone who thought they were going to be like 8, 9? Fighting in that play-in position, yeah, they're better than expected. I think they will come back down to earth a little bit. So I'm going to go borderline, but a beautiful pretender.
I love it.
All right, second place. We go. Let's bump this up. Second place. We got the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh.
The 76ers are in second?
Yeah, man. They're 5-2, aren't they?
Look, yeah, 5-2.
I need a caveat here. I got to ask a question because Maxey and VJ are playing
out of their mind.
Maxey's
playing at all NBA level.
Do they?
Maxey's playing. He's at MVP level. Yeah.
Do they trade Embiid?
I would, but I don't know what you get for him.
If they
Yeah,
trade, if they trade Embiid, they're contenders.
Yeah, but I mean, what do you get for him? You don't get anything productive. I think who would even take him?
No, it's addition by subtraction.
Okay.
I think you're right by that. I'm curious. Like,
well, you don't think
it does bring up the value?
You don't think there's a team that thinks we can rehab him and get a year or two out of him?
No, I think with his contract, you have to match money. That's absurd. You have to match a all NBA caliber salary, and you're only going to give up, young guys or whatever the case may be. I don't see any. Look, I wouldn't mind him as a backup big for the Lakers.
It's too bad they don't need a guard. They could send him to Memphis.
Hey, you know what? Let's pack it up.
But hold on,
Sacramento Kings. Let's ship him to the Kings for Sabonis. Let's go.
Okay, see, that's ridiculous. Why would they give us a bonus? Yeah, that's just
if they did, be fools. But
this could be.
You gotta throw out a hot take here once in a while,
Yeah, that'd be something. I think they might be just better off keeping him for the 20-25 minutes. I mean, because every now and then he does give you productive, really good minutes. Like he can get you buckets in those 20 minutes.
Jules says they need to trade him ASAP and they should trade him to the Hornets. Yes, that's where he belongs. That's where he belongs with the Hornets.
I mean, the Raptors could use a center for 20 minutes a night. I wouldn't even be too mad at that. You got him for peanuts. I don't think you give up anything of value for him. I think it's a
I don't mean to make us
definitely right there.
I don't mean to kind of go off on a tangent here because we're almost out of time, but I would love the Raptors to make a move for Joel Embiid and Ja Morant and trade away everything other than Scotty Barnes and BI.
I'm not mad at that. The Ja Morant thing could be interesting. I mean, you give RJ Barrett up, probably get Podol up there, and some picks. Ja Morant values and high.
I don't think they'd have to give
up. Not ridiculous.
I don't think they have to give up much for Joel Embiid, like you said, other than whoever's a big salary that they can dump. Maybe Pirtle, because they did sign him to a excessively big contract.
Yeah.
And then Ja Morant, I think you'll also get on the cheap because he just wants out. So they've got some good younger talent that, for filler. Like Memphis is not like Memphis is a contending team anyways.
Joe Sheed in there. Yeah, they got some pieces. That'd be interesting.
Philadelphia pretenders, everybody, or contenders?
Pretenders.
Yeah.
All right. So that's our both.
Another one.
Yeah.
Both are pretenders.
Another one.
Who's third?
Detroit Pistons third. They're 5-2. They're interesting. I just think the East is so bad. Like the East is just weak and bad that at some point one of these teams do have to be somewhat of a contender. Got a guy like Cade there. Thompson is playing. They're definitely taking a jump up. I like Jalen Duran, an old school big. They can be a contender in the East. I just think in the East they could be a contender.
Yeah, I see them in a position to get. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't sure. I see them in a position to get a 4, maybe like a 2 through 4. I don't see them being the best team in the conference, but I do see them built a little bit more for the regular season in the sense that they look like a squad that could probably accumulate, like I said, like 48 to 50 wins pretty easily. I think Cade Cunningham is a guy that's going to enter himself into the MVP talks. I don't think obviously he's going to be at the top of the conversation, but I think he's talented enough that if they do get that amount of wins, that all NBA bid's not ridiculous for Cade. And like you said, Duran is a hell of a rebounder and a hell of an athlete. I mean, and that's not even including Asar Thompson. I mean, they've got pieces there in Detroit. I think they're building a winning culture. So I might have to go contender for Detroit.
Yeah, I've been on Detroit since last year. Heading down, I was there and watched a few games, and I think I get a better perspective of a team when I watch them live because I see what they do like when the camera's not on them, right? When it's just that I feel like I get a better idea, and I think that team. I think we all agree that team's on the come up. I think I love Cade Cunningham's progression as a leader of that team. So yeah, I think Pistons 100% contender.
Yep. All right. After the Pistons, we got the good old. I keep taking this off. Hold on. Milwaukee Bucks 5-3. Milwaukee, Giannis isn't the player for best player in the world. His offense, defense. He really. I don't know. Maybe it's the era or just one of those things where his greatness seems to be underappreciated. Even though everyone knows he's great, it just seems to go overlooked because he's been kind of doing it for a while now.
Hold up.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Who picked him to be MVP this year when we did our award picks?
That's true. This
The old
guy.
man.
What
The
did I
old
tell
man.
you? I told you his wife and kids are in Greece. His 2 brothers are on the team. He's focused on basketball. They're going to need him to put up numbers to win games and be successful. Oh, well, looky here.
Hey, 32, 12, and 6 on 60.
Cashing them receipts.
Yeah,
He's got them.
Listen,
He's
got
absurd. That
to
team is so
for
bad.
another 70 games, but it's looking like even last night where he had a subpar game, he was questionable. He was a game time decision because he was I don't know, he wasn't feeling well, or he was a little bit banged up, or he was hurt, and he still put up like 28 and 12 or something ridiculous. Like
he's playing with Miles Turner, Gary Trent, AJ Green, and Ryan Rollins as a starting lineup.
I know, right?
Like that's just it's so ridiculous. If I was him, I'd request a trade.
If he could keep that team top 4 and keep putting up, you cannot not give him the MVP.
Hey, unless you've seen what Luka been doing, just keep averaging that 40. Keep averaging that 40.
He's phenomenal.
There's a certain guy that you love that's going to come back and ruin it for him and Austin.
I'm about to give LeBron a little comment. LeBron, you might have to go chase that DPOY this year, baby.
I know. Is LeBron their 3rd best player now?
Bro, I'm telling you, if LeBron came out and said, you know what, Luka doing his thing, Austin doing his thing, I'm gonna be the best defensive player in the NBA this year, and he put that out there, put that narrative out there, and he goes out there, they give it to him, and I think probably help the team the best. Like he'd still facilitate, do his thing, but play off of Luka and Austin when they don't have him. You know what I mean?
You want LeBron to become a 3-and-D guy, sit in the corner and shoot threes.
3-and-D.
I want him to be the best defensive player in the NBA while still giving you 17, 6, and 6.
I think that's a lot for an old man because defense is harder to play than offense.
He's a cyborg. I hear you, but I mean, I just think again, taking away all that pressure from offense, I think he still could. And again, he puts that narrative out there. It'd be interesting to see.
Right.
But
keep those likes up. All right, keep those likes up. So Milwaukee. On the strength of Giannis being the best player in the East, I'm going to say contender, but they're like the opposite of the Sixers, where I think the Sixers are pretenders that have contender capability. They're contenders that could quickly fall.
Yeah, 100%. And I agree with that sentiment. It's based on Giannis alone. I mean, he's arguably, we're witnessing possibly the greatest power forward we've ever seen. And I don't mean to be hyperbolic there. I'm just saying what he's doing is stuff that should be seen as more extraordinary, maybe, like Jalen was saying. Like, he's underappreciated a little bit because the stats and stuff that he's putting up, you know, we're still talking about SGA, we're still talking about Jokic, we're still talking about other guys and kind of putting conversations ahead of him, where it's like, dude, this guy is legitimately doing, you know, godly type numbers and is dominating in a way that, you know, any other season he would be the MVP without question.
I think for
because of, you know,
top in the world, this might be the worst roster I've seen a top 2 player in the world have in like a decade. I can't think of another top 2 player in the world who's had a roster.
Here's the thing. Listen, it's gonna be between Duncan and KG. It's gonna be hard for him to surpass those 2 guys.
Yeah.
AG, I think he has an opportunity. The problem is going to be Duncan, because if you look at all the defensive accolades, if you look at all the team success, but here's the thing: you put Giannis on those Spurs teams, I don't think they miss a beat. So, you know, it's just he just hasn't had.
It's just the rings. It's just the rings. That's the only argument. It's the rings.
Right. And that will be the biggest argument at that point. I mean, obviously, depending on how he finishes out, but.
Yeah, he's not going to finish with a bunch of rings. It's probably that's the one that he's got, and that's it. So, Jalen, so that was the top 4. So we're going to do rapid fire. You're just going to say the name of the team, and we say contender or pretender. Let's go.
All right. Miami Heat, pretender. New York Knicks, contender. Cleveland Cavaliers, contender.
Pretenders.
Spicy.
Cavaliers doesn't no respect. Toronto Raptors, pretenders.
Worse than pretender.
Atlanta Hawks, contenders.
Contenders.
Pretenders.
Yeah,
How
okay,
long-
we're on the same
no.
page.
I'm wrong. Trae Young is hurt. Pretenders.
That one
Pretenders.
healthy. And the Orlando Magic 10th place. They're contenders. It's a rough start.
I'm disappointed in them, but I think they're contenders. Yeah.
It's still too early, but I think they're one of the cusp contender contender players. All right. So before we get to the West, we have our other segment. I got to make these shorter. I think the intros.
Bro, you don't know hoops? Wait, what? Nah, you really don't.
Say it with us.
You don't know hoops. All right. Welcome to the segment.
You don't know hoops. So this gentleman messaged me the top 10 negative things about Michael Jordan, who he says Michael Jordan has the most negatives out of any other player in the history of the NBA.
Whoa.
Jordan has more negatives than any other player in the history of the NBA. Yes, he also didn't show up to the debate, but we're not going to put him in the chicken list because it was a while ago. So I'm going to go through each one that he sent me, and you tell me, is this an actual negative? An actual negative. Here's number.
I got it. Okay.
2011 wasn't a choke. It was a case of LeBron. Oh, no, that wasn't one. Sorry, my bad. Although now you're getting an idea of what kind of person he is. Let's.
Oh, no.
Let's get rid of that one. Let me make sure. That's hilarious that's the first one I pulled up and didn't realize. All right, let's see the next one. My apologies. Let's see if this one's an actual one. Number 9. I clearly have them in no particular order, so I apologize. Who was so selfish, so greedy, to whereas he actually took 2,280 field goal attempts in one season, 43 in one game. Next closest teammate was 1,050 field goal attempts, and they played in the same amount of games. His team had a losing record, got swept in the first round of the playoffs. Is that a negative for Michael Jordan's legacy?
First off, like, I don't care how many shots he took until I see at which rate he's making said shots. I would like to know, which we all know Michael Jordan is like a 50% career scorer. So, 2,200 shots at a 50% clip is not nearly what this guy thinks he's making it into.
He didn't have a lot of help on that team. This is probably the year when he got swept by the Bucks or the Celtics.
He never got swept by the Bucks. Yes, this is I believe his first season.
Look here.
So that would be what, rookie season where he averaged 28 points per game on 48% from the field.
It's either year 1 or year 3. So let's because I got TikTok going and I got this going. I don't have access to statistics. Okay, so we know that he took 2,200 shots. I'm assuming. I'm not even fact checking. I'm assuming this is correct, and we know that he had shot 50%. Is that a negative?
Not to me.
No. This is year 3. Yeah, that's year 3. 2,279 shots. Yeah, year 3.
What was it? What was his field goal percentage?
Effective field goal percentage was 48. Field goal percentage at 48%. That's pretty solid.
Okay, what was his?
Yeah.
How many assists did he have that season per game?
Per game. Let me scroll up here. Per game assist per. Why isn't it showing? I'm only seeing totals. Assists per game. 4.6.
4.6. Okay. So 5 assists per game, and he averaged 36 points, 37 points per game?
37.1. Hey, it's a high mark.
37 points. 37 points on 48% from the field.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I'll take it. And on that team, the second best player was Charles Oakley as a scorer. Yeah, I get why he took so many shots.
That's it. Charles Oakley, Sam Vincent. Come on, guys.
27 shots is crazy, but I understand the context of it. You can understand.
All right, let's see the next one. So we agree that one failed. All right, maybe some of these are in order. Number 8, when MJ scored 63 points in a playoff game, Bulls got swept in that series. Yet the Bulls were very competitive against that same Celtics team all that year. As long as MJ wasn't playing in the game, a huge minus. All right, so let's be clear. They played them 5 times. And the time that they were close, Bird didn't play. Is that a negative to his legacy?
These are all just dumb arguments. Like, it's hurting my brain. I can't be doing this segment. It just makes him LeBron. No. I don't condone it. Idiocracy or stupidity. This is just, it's like the same, Jordan fans will be like, oh, LeBron scored 50 points a lot. Like, shut up. Like, it's just stupid. Or blame 2018 on LeBron, when it was the greatest carry job ever. These are all just dumb. It hurts my brain fluent. This is annoying me.
It's like you can tell that this person is super young. I hate to be like stereotypical, but like there is absolutely no context here whatsoever. It's like they just saw, oh, he scored 63 points and didn't pass the ball. And like the Bulls were 30 wins.
We'll go faster. IMHO. I don't know what that means. It's either
my honest opinion.
Oh, in my honest opinion. Okay. It's either the 04 Pistons or the 86 Celtics for all-time greatest defense. Did you know the 86 Bulls were less competitive versus the 86 Celts whenever MJ was playing? A huge negative. Oh, he said the same thing.
Yeah, I can't even respond to that.
All right, that was. I love this guy.
Crazy.
Let's see here. The next one. Oh, this was the first one he said. LeBron has never quit on a family or a basketball team. He fulfills every contract and then he moves on. He never retires nor demands trades. But about 7 months before Bron was born, my dad was outraged to learn his Tar Heels can't win the 85 NCAA title because somebody had quit.
So because he chose NBA Millions, it's called
quitting on the Tar Heels now.
Yeah. So did Michael Jordan? The question is, did Michael Jordan, I guess, effectively quit on the Tar Heels?
What in the world?
No, on Tar Heels, no. If you want to make the case of the Bulls with the whole retirement situation, that's more of an argument. I think that's stupid too. More of an argument for that than the whole leaving college early thing. Consider quitting.
Yeah, it's just Dean Smith even told him that he should go to the NBA. Like, I mean, he done what he needed to do.
Okay, so let me ask you this: by that standard of quitting, how many times do you guys feel that Jordan quit?
That he quit?
Because he said not fulfilling a contract. So how many times did Jordan quit?
Oh.
I mean, and by the way, just for those that don't know, because they're stupid, scholarship in university, as am I the only one here on the panel that had one, is a year-to-year thing. So if a new coach comes in, heck, if the same coach comes in and say, hey, you don't have a scholarship this year, you don't. It's a year-to-year thing. You have to earn your scholarship every single year. It's not, you don't get a 4-year scholarship, for the record. That being said, so how many times did he not fulfill a contract, which would be a professional contract, which technically you can't sign back then as an NCAA player, for the record?
I think he fulfilled all his contracts, man. I feel like
the contract was done. Everything he had to do.
Anytime he left, I think the contract was done, right?
No, 92-93. No, 92-93. He when he went to play baseball, he had a contract that he did not fulfill. So
had to hide gambling, whichever one it was.
Sure, yeah, but then he didn't quit. The other times that he retired, his contract was up. He had no contract. That being said, how many times did LeBron not complete a contract?
I think he fulfilled every contract. I don't think getting out your contract early when that's allowed is not fulfilling it. He fulfilled every contractual obligation.
So if I sign a 6-year deal,
with the opt-out clause,
with an opt-out after 4, that's not quitting on the team?
No, that's not quitting on the team. That's exercising your right within the contract. That's completing your contract. If you have an opt-out clause, that contract is the opt-out clause. You completed your contract. You opt out.
But then by that definition, retiring is a legal allowable way to be out of your contract.
Right. Same standard.
Sure.
If we're being universal, right?
It's different, but you can make that argument. It's different. It's it's different too.
And he stayed for 4. That's all I care about. All right. Well, we're going through these fast because these are fun. I love these. Let's see what this one is. I don't even know. These are so random. This is my favorite one. I'm saving this one for later.
I gotta bring some like idiotic Jordan fans tweets and videos up. That's what I gotta do next week.
You should.
Yeah.
You know what? For a segment, we should all bring like dumb tweets.
I wish.
Go watch a Scap Attack video. You'll lose brain cells, or the other.
I wish people sent me more of other things other than this, because everyone's like, "Oh, you're always defending Jordan." I'm like, "Yeah, because I get stupid stuff like this all the time. I don't get stupid stuff like this about Kobe or LeBron or anybody else." All right, being a greedy, selfish player towards his teammate did really cost MJ in the '85 playoffs. He got swept.
Oh my
He got
gosh.
swept by one of the greatest teams ever, really, the 85 Celtics.
All right, so that one didn't work. But yeah, keep going.
What we got next?
Yeah, losing brain cells here.
Oh, yeah, you want the next one? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
No
Jalen, you're
problem.
right.
I'm trying to
Brain cells
delete
are
them so I
going.
don't show you the same one because I don't. I'm doing a bad job of keeping track of these. All right, let's see. Oh no, we already saw that one, right?
I love how he had to put never quit on his family. Like Jordan getting a divorce is also like part of the reason why he sucks at basketball.
Well, yeah. Don't you know that the two things are tied together?
Yeah, like clearly causation correlation there.
I'm trying to find. It's so weird. Okay, hold on. Let me. All right, talk about something else. Start in the West. Let me organize these. You guys talk about. Let's start with the West contenders and pretenders while I organize these.
All right, let's do it. What we got in the West?
OKC 8-0, clear contenders.
Yeah,
We got to debate that. San Antonio.
Exactly.
That's the one. Who's the genius that says San Antonio would win? Be on top of the division. Would be a real team. This guy
Got his receipt.
right here.
Got his receipt.
No one else in the world was saying it. Not a single soul was talking
Right.
about the Spurs being the real deal. But we talked about it. Castle doing his thing. Even this is with Fox out too, by the way. This is without Fox here. Wemby doing his thing. You have quality bench pieces with Keldon Johnson, Sohan doing this thing. This team is a real deal, especially when Fox comes back. This team is the real deal. I think they'll be top 4 in the West when the season's all good. Good. Harrison Barnes is just a consistent veteran guy. Doesn't need the ball. Sometimes he might give you 5.7 rebounds, 4 assists. Sometimes he might give you 15, 7, and 10. Like he just does what needs to be done. He lets the young guys ball and he fills in the holes. I just think he's phenomenal on this team. You have Marcel there doing this thing, coming back. I mean, and they had who just got hurt on my fantasy team too, Dylan Harper, who was hooping, just got hurt. He's going to miss a couple weeks, but Wemby.
How's your fantasy team doing, by the way?
I was so cooked. It was doing so bad, and so I had to trade Anthony Edwards. I lost literally like 1-8 in 1 year. I traded Anthony Edwards for Pascal Siakam, McCollum, Jeremy. I just needed pieces. And now we're at this week. But again, the news was initially he'd be out 2 weeks plus a ramp up period. So I was like, okay, he might be out 3.5 weeks. Suddenly he comes back in like 4 days, 5 days. Anthony Edwards. I'm like, what in the world? But then he's having terrible game. But
yeah. All right. So sorry. So we did. Who was number one?
OKC was number 1, and then number 2 was San Antonio.
Then San Antonio contenders. Okay, let's pause there for a second because I've got this figured out now. So we'll hit up the top 5 real quick. So coming in at number 5, so far the first 5, none of them were actual negatives. Number 5 reason MJ sucks. LeBron is a pass first false legend ever since high school, but MJ was a greedy, selfish rookie towards his teammates. He was only worried about maximizing his brand and his field goal attempts. A huge negative. True or false?
Well, I don't understand. Like, why is this? He can just, based on this parameter, this fellow could just say whatever he wants and just claim it's a negative.
Yes.
Like, I don't understand what the criteria is here. It's all over the place.
Criteria that all of these things are negatives towards Jordan's legacy. Number 4, Jordan tried to strong arm legends at the 85 All-Star game. His terrible attitude towards his NBA brethren would go on to define how he operated during his entire lame career. The 85 All-Star game to Craig Hodges to Isaiah 92 Dream Team to bullying teenager Kwame Brown, a huge negative.
Yeah, and I mean this is all just reaching here. This is all.
What does that have to do with his basketball play?
That's not a negative. All right.
It is I just think he's trying to match the stupidity of some of the Jordan fans he talks to. It's like stupidity versus stupidity. You got to match energy sometimes.
Number 3. Oh yeah. By the way, they say somebody stole Hakeem Olajuwon's 1985 Rookie of the Year award. Have you seen it around here anywhere? Hakeem's team won 48 games that year, a 20-game improvement from 1984. Guess which team only won? I can't see what it says there. Can anyone read it? Hold on. Wait.
38. There you go.
38 games that year.
This one's funny because this is the one where, like, I think LeBron, you can make a case LeBron and Jordan never deserved the Rookie of the Year. I think Hakeem and Carmelo could have easily been given their,
it's very interesting. I said, so this is where the debate part came in that he didn't show up for. I said, all right. I said, so based on that criteria, that there was a bigger jump in wins from the Bulls from what Jordan's rookie year to the Rockets from his not having Olajuwon to his rookie season, and that the Rockets made the playoffs and whatever. And I said, by that criteria, Carmelo had the Nuggets win more games than the Cavs won, the increase in games in their rookie season from the previous year, and Carmelo's team made the playoffs and the Cavaliers did not. I said, so does that mean that LeBron James stole Carmelo Anthony's rookie of the year? Guess what the response was? Crickets. Crickets. Correct answer. Crickets is the correct.
Don't show up.
So these are supposed to be 10 huge negatives for those that aren't paying attention. 10 huge negatives that prove that Jordan sucked. Number 2, somebody refused to correct or challenge his coach, Bobby Knight, for unfairly deeming him the GOAT. He merely cooperated with Knight by staying silent. He just happily went on his merry way with that negative on his resume, which he could have prevented. So is that a negative that proves Michael Jordan is a horrible basketball player, that he didn't go against Bobby Knight, who would have thrown a chair at him had he said, no, you're wrong, I'm not the best player ever?
So Bobby Knight, one of the most respected coaches in NCAA history, says you're the greatest thing he's ever seen as a basketball player, and that's the negative. Okay, yeah.
Bobby Knight might have been kicked out the league in 1 year in today's world. I think in today's world, Bobby Knight would have
been kicked out of the league in one game.
Yeah. He was different.
Here's his final one. So these were his top 10 reasons. Did we get any? Did he get any negatives?
Okay, he's 0 for 9.
No, man. I guess he is.
MVP and Rookie of the Year are about team success.
Didn't he
already do this one?
Didn't he already make this claim?
I gotta go to in like 10 minutes.
My apologies. MVP and Rookie of the Year are about team success, wins. Which said player caused Hakeem improved his team's wins by 20.
Yeah, so 1 and 3 are the same.
He didn't even come up with 10, and he said is the most negatives ever. So he used the same one twice.
Yeah, that was
repeated. Why do we have to do this? Like, why can't we just respect greatness?
What? No, you really don't.
Say it with us.
You don't know hoops.
Because you don't know hoops. That's why. All right, number 3 in the West. Finally, we'll finish our pretenders. Number 3 in the West.
Number 3 in the West, the LA Lakers doing their thing. Luka, I mean, we're talking about an offensive start. I don't know if I've seen a better offensive start than what this guy's been doing, for 5-6 games this season.
100% contenders.
Yeah, contenders.
DeAndre Ayton's like annoying. Like, he'll have games where he looks really good, and he'll have games where he disappears. But like when he's on, he looks good. So like I'll be interested to see. What's the other kid? Lavaria, name right now. He's been hooping.
Oh yeah, he's been playing real well there. Yes,
shooting the ball. Keep up the shooting. It'd be great. I still think the Lakers could use some shooting. I'm still worried about defense. The defense to me is still very, very shaky. Like anybody can score on them, but we'll see.
Honestly, with them, I'm worried about cohesion.
Chat on YouTube.
I mean, what's that chat? LeBron comes in.
Chat on YouTube, chat on Twitter, chat on TikTok. Send your questions now. We're going to answer your questions. So that's the top. Lakers are 3rd or 4th?
Lakers are 3rd. Denver 4th. I think they're contenders for sure.
Denver, I think we all agree are contenders. Yeah.
Denver's my champion, man.
All right, let's do the last 4 in the speed round. You give the name of the team. We just say contenders, pretenders.
Houston 5 contender.
What?
Houston at number 5 contender.
Pretenders.
Oh, okay. The
contender.
Kevin Durant, they're doing their thing. Golden State Warriors number 6.
You didn't even
contender.
No.
Contender.
Number 6 Golden State.
This is contender.
Pretender, yeah. I'll go pretender 2. Minnesota number 7 pretender.
Wait, what's that?
I think Golden State.
Boone Jr. says contender with the Golden State Warriors.
Nice.
Hot take.
He's a big believer in Kuminga. He's a big believer in Kuminga then.
I knew I had a good guess.
Yeah.
It's confirmed now.
Number 7, Minnesota Timberwolves, pretender.
I have those Contenders actually. I still think they have a chance. I I don't think it's as good as the last 2 years, but I don't think they're completely out of water yet.
I think they're a team maybe that's built more for the playoffs than the regular season. I think Anthony Edwards kind of
Yeah.
that guy too. I just feel like he's one of those guys who
I actually, yeah, I think they're gonna make a deep playoff run, so I'll go Contender.
makes sense. After them, we got Portland Trailblazers.
Pretender.
They're interesting pretenders.
Yeah, they are.
They're interesting pretenders. Like, Denny Avdija is the real deal.
Denny.
That dude.
Shaden Sharp doing his thing. Jeremy Grant is having a little bit of a revival here in that second unit. Drew Holiday is playing out of his mind. I don't know if you guys seen Drew Holiday. He's playing out of his mind.
Yeah, he's playing great. Is it Thiago Splitter? Was Chauncey Billups not paying attention? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, Donovan Clingan.
Dude's too busy gambling.
Yeah, exactly. He's too busy playing poker.
You know what?
Yeah.
I've got this water.
I think Portland is a pretender, and they're going to fall right out of the playoff picture.
Yeah.
Where's their defense ranked? Does it happen to tell you there by any chance?
No, I'm not. Oh wait, defense. No, just their offensive. No, they're -3 for diff. That's the only thing. Average point differential.
The Lakers, we all agreed were contenders.
Yeah.
DB. So we're gonna take 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. Any questions on TikTok? Any questions in the chat?
Let's go.
Any other topics? Is there anything else we need to? Is there any great like? Did we talked about the gambling stuff already?
I mean, not really. I feel a lot of people talked about it. It's
Yeah.
It looks like it was a really big gambling ring where a lot of money was exchanging hands. But it is weird to see, guys who have made over $100 million. Like, I make that type of money. I feel like I wouldn't need to resort to gambling enterprises to make more. You make $100+ million. You get yourself a quality finance guy, whether he works at a hedge fund, investment fund, whatever, and you can make 15-20% a year if they're having really good years. So to me, again, if I was on the come up struggling or whatever, or like I made $10 million and I lost it all, and then I have to use my network to try to build it back, sure, you can make a case, but I just
no. But I think you don't think of this other side, right? Being rich doesn't mean you can't have an addiction.
Right, exactly.
So Terry Rozier and Damon Jones, I think, who were the two players. Like, there could have been gambling addictions there, and sometimes it doesn't matter how much money you make, you can gamble away. Like, I've made more money and had nothing because I'm spending more, and made less money and had more because I just, you know what I mean? It's what you do with it. So that part I understand. And and they should get what they deserve for, and the help that they deserve, but also the punishment that they deserve for doing that. That being said, this isn't an NBA gambling ring. Like, there was some serious like mobsters involved in the Chauncey Billups thing, right? Tables and X-ray vision and like tech stuff. How is this an NBA gambling issue and no one's talking about the mobsters who are actually, like, these guys were pawns. Even Terry Rozier and Damon Jones, like, we don't know all the details. I'm not saying they didn't do anything wrong. They absolutely did something wrong and they should be punished. But these guys were pawns in a much
What if the mobsters threatened them? Do you think they have a case? Like, if I was their lawyer, I'd be like,
I'm concerned with, like, I hate to be that guy that just jumps across on the cynicism train, but I'm just concerned about, how high does this potentially go? I hate to be that way, and I hate to feel that way towards the league, but if Terry Rozier, Damon Jones, just kind of like these basic players are doing it, like, you're gonna tell me that there's not a lot more rampant, gambling ties? Because I mean, look at how the game is related to gambling and stuff. I mean, it's so integrated. And players have always gone to gambling. Like, look at Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan. Like, it's always existed. So I mean, it just seems like natural progression for stuff like this to happen.
And let's be
Especially
honest,
when you have prop bets on individual players.
But Jordan, Oakley, all these guys, Barkley. I think I ran into your dude, Paul Pierce, Allen Iverson. Yeah. The only time I ever met, like, 90% of the hoopers I've kind of run into have been in Vegas at tables.
Yeah,
we all gamble because guess what? It's legal, and let's be honest. With today's player, who's like the biggest investor and promoter of the NBA? It's gambling.
Yeah, it's FanDuel,
FanDuel,
it's
DraftKings, yeah.
DraftKings.
I'm on FanDuel right now, and Isaiah Jackson tried to not play minutes.
So what did you expect? Especially
Right.
when it's legal. And
Right.
like, how do you police? Like, if I'm a player and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have a game tonight. I'm betting the over. I'm gonna get 20 plus points. Guarantee it. So much so I'm gonna put 1,000 on me. Or I tell my friends, yo, bet on me tonight because I'm going off.
Yeah.
Is that
Exactly.
bad? Now, if you say like Terry Rozier, who said, hey, everybody bet the under because I'm going to take myself out of the game at halftime.
Yeah.
Okay, that needs to be investigated. That's a problem. But that being said, like I said, there's addiction, there's problems, and then there's also pressure. Like you say, these guys are millionaires, but a lot of times there's 30, 40, 50, 80 people mooching off of them from their neighborhood, their family, all that. And it's like, you know what? I'm not going to give you any money, but I'm going to help you by doing this, right? I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying there's a lot of factors that go into it. And I, as much as this was an NBA problem, and it is, you got into bed with all the gambling sites, and there's a much bigger organization that was pulling the strings that have you heard anyone talk about anything other than the NBA players involved?
Exactly. Which is strange in itself, right?
Yeah.
It's a little odd because you would, with such a dark entity being tied to it so publicly, to the point that like it's transparent.
Mobsters are well connected. They don't want their names out there. They'll figure out a way to, the media, whatever it is.
Yeah. And listen, I'll tell you right now.
I gotta go.
If they came and emailed me, I'd be right in. We can make a deal. You got to go. Well, guess what? It's time to go anyways. And you know what we do when it's time to go?
Oh, Canada.
Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
No, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.